Hey guys, what's up? It's Miss Hilton, and obviously I'm not there, and neither is Mr. Lacricchio. We are both pretty sick right now. I have the flu, and so does he. So I wanted to give you a video of what we're doing with our station rotation, so you can go ahead and get started on that. Um, if you look at the schedule, we're going to use Monday. Even though I know it's Tuesday, we're going to use Monday. So that means if your group was Spirit of Reform, you are working on slavery today. You were prison, you're working on spirit of reform. Education, you're working on prison. Slavery, you are working on women. And then women, you are working on education. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. You guys are going to learn about the other reform movements. And each day, what's going to happen is you're going to rotate to a new reform movement. Now, obviously, you were supposed to start this yesterday, so like I said before, you're just going to follow the schedule starting with Monday. Each table is going to represent one of the reform movements. You will find two folders from groups A and B of each movement. You are only to look at the papers from your class. You will see other papers from the other classes, but do not touch those. You may use the papers from both folders, but can only use the ones from your class. So let's say you look in folder A and it's prison and it doesn't have a ton of information. So you might want to then go to folder B and look at the information from the people in your class for that one. So hopefully, you can find all the info between the two packets. Now, please, please, please remember to put the paper clips on the folder and then put them back when you're finished. Make sure all the packets are grouped together the way they're supposed to be. Each table should have at least 3 laptops with headphones. Now, you can find those headphones near my desk. While 3 people are using laptops to listen to the videos and answer the questions, the other 3 will be looking at the papers in the folders to answer the questions in the packet. You're going to switch roles when you're finished. You are not allowed to take the packets home with you. Whoever's subbing for me, they're just going to collect the packets at the end of the hour. And since you missed doing this yesterday, if for whatever reason there's actually more time, like you get through one station pretty quickly, feel free to rotate again, and that way we can get caught up. But if you can't, it's not a big deal. Okay, now how do you do this? It's a great question. Well, if I look here, the packet says these are your directions. You and your group members will be traveling through stations over the next few days to learn about the other reform movements. Use this guide to answer the questions for each movement. The only questions you do not have to answer are the ones that deal with the reform you were assigned, and all answers must be incomplete sentences. Okay, Spirit of Reform. It's pretty straightforward. So if you're at the Spirit of Reform station, you gotta read through the packet, answer the questions in complete sentences. And then, for the video questions, it says write the answers to the questions that go along with the video. Make sure you circle which group you watched, and you only need to watch one video. So this is where you're going to write your answers, okay? And the questions are actually posted on Mr. Lacricchio's website, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Okay. The only other thing I want to talk to you about is after the Spirit of Reform, pretty much the rest of them, they ask you to follow kind of like a formula. So for this one, it's going to ask you, you got to first come up with the conditions of the prisons during the mid 1800s. You got to list at least 4. And then it says for this one, you then have to list the reforms that were put into place. Remember, reform means to change. So what changes were put in place? Okay, now this is where it gets, I don't know if it's complicated, but it's not something you're really used to. So, Dorothea Dix, if she were here to share her thoughts and feelings and experiences, what might she say? So I kind of did the first one for you. It says, with my feet, I travel to prisons to document the horrible conditions. With my eyes, I see, and then you got to list the things that she saw. With her hands, did she write to anyone about these conditions? And with her heart, how did she feel about it? Same thing, you got to do the video questions, and that's pretty much what you have to do for all of it. Okay, I'm not going to go over every single one. You guys can read. You guys are pretty smart. You'll be fine. Okay, so that's how you do that. Now you're probably wondering, well, where do I find these videos? I have the answer. You go to Mr. Lacricchio's website, and if you click on links, And if you go down to chapter 18, Reform Movement Project, you scroll all the way down. There you go. So if I click here, first hour students. So if you're in first hour, that's the one you're clicking on. You don't get to click on whatever one you want. First hour clicks on first hour, third hour clicks on third hour, so on and so on. So if I need to watch the videos for Spirit of Reform, I click on this, and there they are. Click play to watch the videos. See Hilton Group A, Hilton Group B. And if you guys are Lacrecio, it's Lacrecio A, Lacrecio B. Here are the questions. Now, some of your classmates were slackers, and they did not give me all 5 questions. So that means I wouldn't choose that one, because then I'm going to mark you down if you only answer 3 questions. You'll see what I mean when you get there. And there are some of them, like this one, it says start at 30 seconds and end at 4 minutes. So that's what you're going to want to do for that. I think that's about it. I can't think of anything else. Please behave. Please do exactly as I ask. And hopefully I will be back on Wednesday, but I can't guarantee it. All right. Hilton out.